Hello, so this is my third time making Sevika arms, and I usually divide my arms in 4 pieces. We have the shoulder piece, the bicep piece, the forearm piece, and the hand piece. At this point, I'm starting with the forearm piece just because it took me a little bit of more details. Now, if you're asking yourselves, where did you get these patterns from? Nowhere, solely my brain. I have been trying to create patterns for you guys in the future because I know a lot of you want to make these Sevika arms. But as of right now, I don't have anything at the time. I will be creating the patterns in the future so that you guys can create them yourselves or use them as a guide to make your own creations. So I got inspired by both season 1 and season 2 Sevika arms, but at this point I'm trying to replicate that rhino head and turn it into a reindeer head for our Christmas theme arm. And to keep the head pattern clean, I just turn it over upside down and I trace it over. Here I'm trying to cut the upper piece, and you'll see here I'm cutting it diagonal. That way all our edges are cleaned up. As of materials, I use 3 EVA foam rolls, a scalpel. Make sure you have multiple, please, because some of them will snap over, and please wear eye protection. This could be snapping back at ya. Also, contact cement, which, fun fact, it was my first time ever using contact cement, and I regretted instantly not have used it before because the way these things work. You apply a thin layer on both sides that you're going to connect. You let it dry exactly for 1 minute, and as soon as this thing gets sticky, you just connect both sides, and it attaches immediately, which is so cool. It is very, very toxic and very stinky, so make sure you wear a mask. Some of this takes are a little awkward because you see me exactly waiting the minute that it takes for the contact cement to get sticky, but just make sure that you apply pressure on those edges so the connection is seamless. Here's the upper and bottom jaw of the reindeer. I did not record doing the bottom just because it's technically the same process as I did for the top. Also, one of the materials that I used was a black glove. I made sure to wear that. That way, when people took pictures or anything like that, you wouldn't see my awkward hand inside the mouth of the prosthetic or the prop. Again, I apologize for not being able to offer any visuals here. You're just gonna have to observe how I make most of these pieces just because there's no patterns or anything like that. But technically what I'm doing here is I'm completing the forearm piece, which if you have seen Sevika arms, half of this arm is season 1 inspired and the other half is season 2 inspired. Over here, I'm making the third piece of this arm, which is the bicep piece. Technically, I am measuring this cylinder to put it around my bicep. And make sure when you do this, you do it flexing so that your bicep, your strong, big ass I had to take a break from that. I apologize. Okay, what I'm saying is you need to measure that when your bicep is flexing so that your bicep doesn't pop it open. Here, I am making extra details for this bicep piece. Here's the arm after 5 hours of building. 3 out of the 4 pieces are done. I was very tired. Only the shoulder piece was missing. Here's day 2. I started using the foam clay to create the horns of my reindeer. I also used the clay to apply in the edges of the connections of the foam. That way it looked a little bit more smoother. Here you'll see me starting the shoulder piece, which I was solely inspired by season 2 Sevika arm. And in season 1 Sevika arm, you'll see like a cup full of shimmer. I wanted to create that same effect, but just with the Christmas colors. I take turmeric shots, which I recycle the cups and fill them up with water and a little bit of acrylic desired paint. I mix it with eatable glitter. Why eatable? Because it is thinner and it looks it gives that translucent effect. In season 2, Sevika arm, the arm is made by Jinx and she made these clutchers for her. So I wanted to put those same clutchers for the bicep piece. Again, I'm not sure if it's named a clutcher, but that's what we're calling it today. Here I'm making the speaker and the shoulder piece, and I did put an actual speaker in the arm, which was so fun. This is what I was talking about the shimmer shots. Again, reminder, it is only paint with water and eatable glitter. I'm not quite sure why it doesn't really stain the cup. It must be a really high quality cup, which is why I recycle them. They are great, guys. Here we are in day 3. The horns are already dry and I'm just adding those extra details in the jaw. I did add some teeth to make that scary look that Jinx made for the original head piece of the Sevika arm. Then with a drill, I created those extra scary effects, or I started drilling the corners of all the corners and all the edges that you could see some imperfections. Here I'm showing every single piece, which again are only 4 pieces. Here you'll be able to appreciate every piece, every detail. This is the shoulder piece, which honestly is absolutely my favorite. I will admit it was a little heavier than I expected, so I made sure that I applied a little bit of Velcro on the top of that shoulder piece, and the other side of the Velcro was attached to my shirt, so that way it would stay in place. This is the hand piece, this is the forearm piece, and this is the bicep piece. When you put them all together, it creates the whole arm. Here I tried my best to paint this with the Arcane look, which as I went through it, I noticed there's not much blending actually. If the less you blend, the more it will look Arcane. This is the whole arm painted. It's really cool that I was able to move my hand like that. I have not finished the clutchers, but that is why day 4 is the best day, because it's just minor details that I applied. In the final day of this prop, I just focus on finishing minor details. These are drawings on top of a sticker material. I just bought a sticker or label stickers and I put them on top of these clutchers and just drew on top of it. I love that it had details like a cookie when Jinx said that, and booms, because I wanted to make it seem like Jinx made this arm for Sevika, which was really fun to play around with. We did win the best prop at the convention. It was extremely rewarding, and I just appreciate every single one of you guys for the support, and thank you for watching till the end. Now enjoy the rest of the video, and any questions, just feel free to reach out to me, guys. Bye bye. Also, I could remove the hand piece, and since I've made Sevika arms in the past, I just changed it up to the hand piece that she used in season 1, which was really fun to play around with, and how I could shift it around between arms. So yeah, I had a lot of fun with that.
Brasil!